Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler. You may recall that early on in this series, and in the first chapter of a saga on home video, I talk about a home viewing option that's a little weird for kids from 1977 when it came to A New Hope. That was the Kenner Star Wars movie viewer. It was a little hand-cranked viewing item here, had Star Wars on it. You had your little cartridges here that had film in it, and you would put them in, and then you'd look through this end and crank and crank and crank to turn film inside it with light coming in so that you could view little scenes straight out of A New Hope, albeit very, very short ones. When you buy them, those cassettes would come in little packages like this. I'm not sure you call them cassettes, cartridges, whatever you want to call them. But it was a form of home viewing alongside Super 8 prior to any retail releases of the entire Star Wars films, starting with A New Hope in '82 in the US and elsewhere. Well, that was a very solitary experience for those kids, right? You watch it, you crank it, you hand it to a friend who can watch it and crank it, but you can't watch it together. That was different in some regions, including Italy. I know Italy, Germany, and a few places that had these. So we want to look at sort of a different version of the same idea of a hand-cranked film viewer for Star Wars from early on before full home video releases of the film, this one coming out of Italy. This is the Minicinex, okay, from Italy. Vera Stellare, I think it says, "May the Force be with you." Minicinex is the brand. All the text on here, up here, Italian, got your legalese kind of stuff here. Okay, you got the company there, which is Harbert, not Herbert, Harbert. I will note here that the legalese down here is in English, but the rest of the text is in Italian. You see those kids there. I was about to say girls, but with that hair, I'm not really sure on this one. That's very much the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe He-Man 80s haircut, so never know. There's got little examples of, look, it's film of classic Star Wars images. Ooh. And of course that very frequently used image up here with the title, with the Luke Leia bit there. Okay. Then bottom and top of the boxes are similar here. Bullet points about it. Minicinex, and then the title. Same kind of thing, both of them having legalese on the far edge. The sides there, going to be Minicinex, Star Wars, Harbert, and underneath, Made in Italy, with legalese. Same thing on the other end. The back of the box telling you basically how it's going to work. Okay. A little more mechanically complex than the other. Now, this is one that I bought used. It's been quite a while. I believe it was Jeremy Goss who pointed me to this on Facebook Messenger as something I might want to pick up. Inside, there is a layer of packaging that everything fits into, but mine's pretty beat up here, so it doesn't really hold it well. But you can see the company name, Minicinex, the title there. Okay. And a little bit of basically English legalese and company name and location again. Presumably Milan, it looks like. And then the actual player is this thing here. Okay. This is the Minicinex. Hand cranked. Okay. But it actually has in here, we'll see, a teeny tiny light bulb. So it's not using sunlight or room light to be able to let you see like the movie viewer did. It actually uses batteries. How much of an inefficient battery hog is it? 3D batteries just to run this little, really kind of a piece of crap. All right, so we've got nothing but the company logo here, other side Minicinex there. Okay, we'll take a look at how this works. You know, pop it open by pushing a little tab that folds it down, which gives you access to the interior. Your actual film reels are on these little plastic reels that snap in. I'm not going to take it out because I don't want it to unravel, because it's an absolute pain in the ass to get this reel set up correctly. It's something that would have tested the patience of many parents and certainly many screaming children. But you have basically a reel of film that snaps in, and then you thread it through on either side of here, which is where the crank is going to connect to, because the crank is on this side, and there's this little piece that pops into here that lets it turn and advance the film. And then here is going to be a little spot connected to the hole that lets you turn on and off the light of this tiny bulb in here. And you would focus not by turning typically really this thing, but by moving this part, the lens part, in and out further away from or towards the actual bulb there to be able to play it. Okay, but you're gonna have to stick your batteries in there. So let's see. Let's do 1, 2, and 3. There's my bulb. It now lights up. I close it. I point this at a wall or something, turn it on, notice there, and I crank to advance the film itself. What's really kind of weird about the product, and yeah, the bulb will tend to kind of turn itself off, at least on some of these older copies, or older products, because it's sort of designed to pop back into place. So if you don't really push it up there, it kind of pops back on its own. But this was a way to watch Star Wars film reels for kids together by projecting it on a wall or some such. Now, the problem with it is despite the giant battery load there, 3D batteries, the actual bulb is pretty weak, and I can't even believe the bulb in this is still freaking working. It's mind-boggling to me that the bulb on this thing is still working after, gosh, over 40 years at this point. But you need a really dark space, and as with most film, it starts to lean towards the magenta in this case, as it has degraded over time. But as far as what is actually on it, I'm going to show it to you in its entirety here. I took it's a pain in the ass. I had to take it into our laundry room. All the lights gone. Propped up just right with my camera propped up just right on my phone so that I could crank it without it shaking whatever it was that I was holding to record to be able to capture it, because none of the regular rooms in our house were dark enough, even with all the blinds closed and everything, to actually let you see it hardly at all. It's a really weak projector, though maybe that's just a matter of it being weak over time, but I doubt it. What's weird about it, though, is the way that it cuts away from scene to scene. It's like they chose certain scenes to use, but in some cases, just to make it more exciting, they intercut those scenes as if you were watching one scene with all this stuff going on that isn't related. Like, the beginning of the movie is when the Tantive 4 gets attacked. Sure doesn't look like it if you're watching the film reel. It's more just sort of it reminds me of sort of what would somebody have thought if those are their favorite parts of the movie, and they were so excited after seeing A New Hope for the first time that they came back and started telling their friends about it, and had no way to express them in any logical order. They were just so excited they just started like randomly spewing ideas of what they remember from the film. It's kind of what it feels like. But it was a way to watch it together for kids at home without needing a Super 8 projector, and together, unlike something like this. So this is what you would get, cranked at a reasonable pace, and you might even want to mute it while I'm cranking, because my god, the cranking sound is horrible, but it's here for authenticity. This is what you would get if you watched the initial May the Force Be With You, or whatever that first reel is called, that came there when you bought an Italian Minicinex. Yeah, not amazing, is it? But it is something that would let people watch back then in other countries. Now, the reason I say in other countries, and I keep emphasizing that, is that that was not available in the US. There's a lot of this kind of Mandela effect kind of thing going on, where people think, because there was something similar to this in the US, that you actually could watch something like the Kenner movie viewer type stuff in the US projected on a wall or something. That does not appear to have actually existed in the US. It's like the movie viewer and one other product getting mixed together in people's minds to make them think it was like this when it was not. The product that is usually confused, that causes people to think that something like the Minicinex existed in the US, I literally bought just to show as an example of what it is not, I kid you not, was the Star Wars Color Show projector. Okay? Star Wars Color Show projector, while kind of neat in and of itself, I think it's actually missing the little piece here that holds it closed. This thing was not a film projector, it was a slide projector. And the slides typically weren't even slides of stills from the film. As you can see there, it was artwork. Comic book almost style, cartoon style artwork. But it was not moving pictures at all. It was a slideshow. Even if you grab the little set of slides and just rip it on through, it's not set up like a flip book or something. It's not animated. It's just still images that you just zipped really fast through. So this is not equivalent in the US to this. Okay, the Minicinex was a way of viewing film, not still images. It was more equivalent to a shared version of the movie viewer from Kenner than it was to the Star Wars Give-A-Show in terms of the content it could show to desperate Star Wars fans before full home video releases existed starting in '82. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.